beautiful bride of sport in Nigeria is football, as we all know, and right now a 10-year master plan that will make sure the development of football is very, at least moving at a pace that everyone can actually enjoy has been done. That report has been submitted by the committee set up. They tagged them Presidential Committee, and right now they submitted the report. 10-year football master plan that involved ex-international like Segun Odegbami, Sunday Olise, Emmanuel Babayaro, not forgetting some administrators that actually joined them. That particular committee is chaired by Alhaji Ibrahim Galadima, and now they submitted the report yesterday to see how the football master plan can be executed in Nigeria. We have a very smooth running on football concerning Nigeria. Welcome you on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Well, we'll be looking at this particular story first that has to do with Nigerian football development, starting with that particular story. Joining me in the studio is Olawale Peters. Good to have you.
Good evening, Adeni. It's a pleasure to be back to the studio.
Now, the story I was just looking at as a topic yesterday at the MK Abiola Stadium, the committee set up 8 months ago. They were set up to see, okay, how can we get a master plan for our football? And now that report has been concluded and it was submitted yesterday at the MK Abiola Stadium by the same committee. Now we have some of these particular Nigerians that play football before. They were part of the committee. Some members of NFF, they just make sure they pick from different places to get that report done for the 10-year master plan. Quickly, before we talk on it, let's listen to what the report submitted by the committee, and also talking about the minister who also received them, and he was very appreciative of what they did. We'll be right back.
It's my pleasure on behalf of my colleagues to thank Mr. President through you for giving us this opportunity to serve this country in this capacity. It is our hope and prayer that our work will help in transforming the sector for a better football culture in Nigeria. So on behalf of my colleagues, we thank you most sincerely for being patient with us all these months, and to also place our record that in this period of time, the minister never looked our way to find out what we are doing in terms of teleguiding or bringing issues that will influence the work of our community. I say this to be on record. At this stage, Minister, report that we have to report in 2 volumes.
2 volumes.
Volume 1 contains the consultations and the presentations by various stakeholders, ranging from state football associations, players' union, as well as the NFF itself. Volume 2 contains recommendations. Prime Minister, sir, the 10-year master plan is stated, been segmented into 3 stages: short, medium, and long term.
A little over 8 months ago, acting on the directives of President Muhammadu Buhari, we, the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, set up this 10-year football master plan committee to lay the foundation for the development of Nigeria's #1 sport, football. We gave the committee their terms of reference and a time frame of 12 weeks, approximately 3 months, to complete the task. Obviously, we did not realize how enormous this assignment is, or was at that time. Clearly, there is now a better understanding of what it means and what it takes to plan and put structures in place for the future of the Nigerian youth and our football development. We, as a ministry, are also happy that we never compromised on the quality of the persons and indeed their pedigree called upon to serve in this committee. Our deliberate search for the top-grade quality of minds that have worked hard to produce this document is now justified. Listening to the chairman of the committee, Alhaji Ibrahim Galadima, reading through the executive summary of the report gave me some level of comfort. We all know that the challenges that have been confronting our football have been there in open space. The practical steps outlined in that summary gives me hope for the future of our football. I'm not surprised at the high level of the intellectual content of the work before us. And let me thank every member of this committee for giving their best to this presidential assignment. Their sacrifices have not been and will not be taken for granted. They are part of the history of football development in our country when that story is told.
Good one there, at least looking at the report submitted by the Presidential Committee on the Masterplan 10-year development from 2022 to 2032. Looking at this, a lot of people, although some support, some are saying, well, now that it has been done, what will happen? 2023 is our election. We don't know who's going to come. It's like building a house. We don't even know who's coming in. What if another, a lot of issues here and there. Will it be sustained, even if they are to implement? Because according to the minister, it will forward it on. It will make it that President Buhari will make sure the white paper, whatever, they work on it and it's implemented. But the implementation cannot just happen between now and May 29. It's going to be a prolonged implementation because it's a 10-year plan. What happens after getting this done and we start to implement it and we don't know what's going to happen next year?
Okay, honestly, I don't know what we do with all this setting up committee here and there, wasting taxpayers' money. And when it has to do with something that we know the right things to do. The best football nations in the world, we talk about Brazil, we talk about even Belgium, we talk about England. Do they have a 10, 15 or 5-year master plan? No. There's no master plan that we will have if we don't change our mindset. If we don't change our corrupt mind, it will never work. That's the truth. And like rightly said now, if come 2023, because His Excellency President Mohamed Buhari has finished his term, he's not seeking re-election, someone is coming in.
We don't know.
We don't know who the person is. And the person will appoint is ministers. We don't know, maybe Sunday Dare will be there. Not. We don't know, maybe the person will have the same philosophy, the same mindset, or agrees with what they've already done for 8 good months. They'll be sitting, they'll be meeting. Come on, do we need that? Do we have that in 1990 to 1994 when the likes of Olise, Amokachi, they won it all for this country? Do we have the master planners at that time? Do we have it up to 1996 and 1998? Do we have it when the same Ibrahim Galadimawa was the NFA chairman? Do we have it? No. Until we know what we do, we know the right thing, until we start doing the right thing. And what is the first thing that we need to do? We need to give priority, as in serious priority, to our local league, grassroots development. That is the first way to go. And we have to change that mindset right from the secondary school, when we used to have inter-house sports, when we used to have Principal's Cup, when we used to have local government competition. That is where we need to start it from. That is where we got the likes of Fatai Atere, Philip Osondu, Kano Wanko, Nuga Games. That is where we need to start it from. If we don't do that, we are just wasting our time. Honestly, it is from there that we're going to start it. Grassroots, home base, we develop it. From the NFF budget, how much was committed for grassroots development? The grant that we get from FIFA to develop grassroots football in Nigeria, how did you spend it? Is there any accountability? Do we know what they do with it? That is the question that we should be asking. How much, what percentage did they assign to the Nigerian football league? Football league this time around. I'm not saying Nigerian Professional Football League. That cut across tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. How much? What happened? That is where we need to start it from. Not all this white paper, yellow paper, brown paper, rainbow color paper. We don't need that. We know the right thing to do until we start doing it. And how can we get it right? We have to get it right from the people we have at the NFF. Now, there's nobody, no executive of the NFF that attended that.
One of them is actually inside. Formerly was the General Secretary, that is Sanusi, but later, because of his duties and all that, they have to put in Barrister Sheyi Akiwumi.
Yes.
He's the one there now from NFF.
What about other people? How many people do we have there? So they are presenting a 10-year master plan for NFF. And all the NFF
guys are not there. Maybe because they are pursuing.
Why are you always speaking for the NFF? Are you one of them? Are you one of them? Because you are always defending them.
Maybe they are. Election is coming September.
Which September?
If election will hold, so they are trying to.
That is another problem, because that's where we have to get it right. Now we are in
July.
July now.
Middle of July.
Middle of July, and we're supposed to have the election in September, in 2 months.
And it's not showing.
Now, number one, they've not started selling the funds. They've not started screening
the candidates.
The guidelines are not there. And this is something they're supposed to start 6 months before the election. So how do they want to do it? Another thought then, even though he has a right to contest, but morally, it doesn't have. Because it came out that he's not contesting again. We had it on tape, on record. So if he doesn't have anything, and also, sincerely, you see, this country, a president, GCFR, number one citizen, gave a directive that they should start preparation for the NFF election in September. After that statement from the president, did you hear anything?
No.
Nothing. So that is where we need to get it right. All this master plan, whatever plan that they are doing, forget it. It's Turenshi English. Everything will go under the ground now. We won't hear anything again. By that same September, that is when the embargo will be lifted on all the political campaign in this country. They know how to divert our attention. By that September, that is when all the political parties will start their campaign. So the focus of everybody will now be on politics. Not on football again. Sincerely, we need to get it right from there. We need to go back to 1990, 92, 94, 96, and 98. How we got this right, what we are doing, that is what we need to do now. All this master plan, rainbow color paper, to be honest with you, I see it as a waste of taxpayers' money, waste of resources. That is not a way to go about it. Because sincerely, if it is something that they started, immediately Buhari came into power in 2015. And he said, I shouldn't be doing 10 years now. Why do you want to do 10 years? You should only do a policy or a roadmap of something that you have control over.
If they started from 2015, by now, we know that, okay, extra 2 years is going to be, at least be able to execute,
you started the implementation. Nobody will.
Out of 10 years.
Vision 2020 in Nigeria, what did you do?
Oh my goodness.
You can't remember.
I remember that time when it came up. When the Vision 2020 came up, like we are in 22 now.
How many of that vision? So that is the issue. They will speak the English, they will pass it to the Mr. President. Mr. President either will look at it or he will not look at it, will sign it, pass the white paper, and nothing happens again. So there needs to be accountability. So this one, as far as I'm concerned, no. We have to go back to the roots. We have to go to the our home scene. You have to go back to how we used to get it right from those days. I remember those days when you were playing Prince Paco. That is why under 17 in the 90s.
That's where they pick most of them.
They pick most of the players from there. Most of them, they are still in St. Finbas. They are still in secondary school.
Bobby College. Schools across Nigeria.
Baptist Academy, Obanikoro, Methodist boys. They pick them from the school to go and represent their country. So if you don't do that, you just see one player that you never heard of, probably is in Europe, through the agent, through the NFF, he will come and play for 1 year or 2 years. After that, you don't hear about them again. So that's why we are not really progressing when it comes to football in this country. We gave example of Asisat Oshola in the morning during the show. She came to the Super Falcons in 2014. at the age of 20 years from our domestic league in Nigeria. And since that time up to now, we've seen what she has done. So she has served us for 7 good years, and she has won almost everything.
And African Footballer of the Year 4 times.
4 times. So that shows that that is where we have to go back to. We have to come home and develop it. I'm not saying you should not take people from outside the country, but we have a blend, we have a mix. Let them also know that they have a stiff competitor at home. Without that, this white paper, I rest my case.
We've been talking concerning the 10-year football master plan that the Presidential Committee is set up, submitted to the Minister of Youth and Sports on the diary on Thursday. And we just have to look at what are the chances of making sure this thing work? We don't know, because from the way it is politically, well, we just hope everything goes well in Nigeria, and let's see how the implementation of that particular master plan will suit Nigerian football development, and we get it right. Now let's move away from the CAF Award for Women. Was released just some weeks back, and now we have some finalists. After all, they have to prune down the list. Let's start from the CAF Player of the Year, where Oshoala Monday Gift, Wild Drum, Drivers Angels, the new final list, talking about the topic there before we look at the list. Well, Oshoala, right now, she's still able to make it. Monday Gift, she's able to make it in 2 categories. Randy Wardrum in the Coach of the Year, Rivers Angels in the Club of the Year. Now, because for the former list release, a lot of people make it, but now they pull it down. Let's talk from the Women Player of the Year. From Oshoala side, that's the CAF Women of the Year. Let's look at the list. 10 players now, just like the men. Our own Nigerian Moses Simon is no longer there, but now we have, formerly we have 4 of them, the Ajibade, Nadoze, Asisat Oshoala, and also Uche Nakano. But now we have only Oshoala left from the 10 shortlisted players. Now, Ajara of Cameroon, Evelyn Badu of Ghana, Doris Bodua, Griselin Chebak of Morocco, Asisat Oshoala, Nigeria, Barcelona, and Led Lamini, Banani Mbane of South Africa, and you have Christina Tembi Gadlana, the lady that got injured for South Africa, Refilo Jane, and Grace Chanda. Those are the players now that has been picked for the CAF Player of the Year 2022. 10 of them, although it's a bit pruned down, I'm sure, from this 10 maybe to 5, or finally 3.
And I don't know the parameter that they want to use that will not make Asisat Oshoala to win it for the 5th record time. That is the truth. And between that last year and now, that is what they are looking at. And Oshoala has made 2 records. Number 1, the first African women player to win Champions League. She did that with Barcelona when they beat Chelsea 4-0. Number 2, she's the joint top scorer and the first in Africa
to do so. 20 goals.
She scored 20 goals in 19 matches because she was injured for 3 months.
And so imagine
and
in those 3 months.
The joint winner, Ferrari of Madrid, she played 27 matches and scored 20 goals.
And our own
19 matches and 20 goals. Average of 1.1 goal per match. So imagine if she doesn't have that injury
for 3 months.
For 3 months, what would have happened? So if you look at that, she has won something, broke the record that we don't have in Africa, not in Nigeria alone. Based on that personal assessment, and if you want to go so that we not look at what happens to Austin J.J. Okocha in the year 19...
My only fear is that if you look at that list again, let's look at that list again, looking at the fact that we have South Africans are there. You have Grace Refilo Jean. Chris Gatlana is injured now; she's out, but she's still there. And you have Anled Lamini. Now, you look at Ajara Chus of Cameroon. By the time they want to pull it down to maybe 5 or 3, the Nations Cup now, the way South Africans are performing, they've won all their 4 matches, and this player, Refilo Jane, Anled Lamini, Mbane, especially those 2, they've been very outstanding in this competition.
Okay.
So I'm like, because just like I hope they won't use this as also a yardstick.
The truth is the ongoing Nations Cup has nothing, the performance has nothing to do with whoever is going to win this award. This is for between last year and now.
Because the award will come out July 21.
Yes.
So a couple of days.
So this has nothing to do, the performance or whatever happens, it can count for them when they are doing for next year. But for this year, it has nothing to do with it. And if you look at all the lists that we have there, there's nobody that has won anything tangible, recognizable, breaking the record like our own assistant Oshola. So
case closed, right?
That one is just case closed. She's going to win it for the 5th record time. She's a joint with Perpetua Okocha, who won it also 4 times. We have Nigeria that have won it more than 11 times since they started. The Perpetua Okocha has won it, Mercy Akide has won it, Oshola has won it also. So we have a lot of them. We are dominating it. Sincerely, sentiment apart, let's say the truth. You know the truth, you say the truth, and the truth will set you free. That Assistant Oshola deserves this award in all parameters.
Because like I told you, I remember how Okocha was so close. I remember the last Ballon d'Or thereabout. A lot of people were like, Lewandowski should have done it, and it went to Messi. The last one, I still remember vividly, Thierry Henry deserved that award. He never got it. A lot of people, even when Luka Modric and all, a lot of players that...
during that time, if you look at it, if you look at the parameter they use, they are too close to call.
So they just have to pick one.
It can go either way. Either Robert Lewandowski or Messi, they can do that. Why didn't they go and give Lukaku? That's the example of what we have right now. Assistant Oshola, she is outstanding.
Among all of them.
So the gap is wide. It's not a close rate. Like Okocha's own, it's just by 2 points that he lost out. Though he won the BBC African Player of the Year, but he didn't win the CAF just by 2 points. But what we have right now, the margin is wide.
The margin is right there for Sisa. Let's look at what happened now. Quickly looking at the CAF award now, looking at the least Interclub Player of the Year for women. We have our own. We still have we still have Monday Gift. Monday Gift is in that squad. We hope that she can make it. Talking about players that play in Africa in this particular category of Interclub Player of the Year. There now, hopefully, if Monday Gift can scoop it, that would be nice. Monday Gift play for Bayelsa Queens at the when they play the Super 6, and also a player of FC Robo Queen of Lagos. Still looking at the award, look at Young Player of the Year. Young Player of the Year for women. You see, have 2 Nigerians. Monday Gift is there. You also have Flori Sebastian, who play for, also is a Nigerian player. Two players there. Well, a Ghanaian, Evelyn Badu, Doris Badu, 2 Ghanaians, 1 Moroccan, and you have 2 Nigerians. At least one of these awards, Monday must get one.
Definitely. And that shows that even if our coach, if he did not recognize how good, how exceptional, how fantastic Monday Gift is, the CAF, that's the Confederation of African Football.
They recognize her.
They recognize her by shortlisting her for 2 good awards. Then Flourish also Sebastian. That shows that we have younger players that can take over from this. Now, we are looking at 5 in Africa, and we have 2. Nigeria.
So that means one of Nigeria must get it.
A very good one, a very good motivation for the players also that, so that means I've been recognized in the continent of Africa. Let's see how it goes. But I'm very confident we are bringing it home.
We just have to talk about that now quickly before we go. Ajax leading the race to sign Nigerian defender Calvin Bassey. Calvin Bassey, well, right now, a lot of clubs are after him from the English Premier League, but it seems Ajax Amsterdam are the one leading the pack to sign this Nigerian. That would be nice if they can get him. He's been with Rangers, and now the young man wants to move at 22. Another one has to do with Fabregas. Fabregas said to join Italian Serie B side Como 1907 after leaving Monaco. What a way to go. 35-year-old Fabregas, a shocking move it is.
Honestly, you know one thing about football, if you are used to it, sincerely,
you don't even mind where you are going.
You don't mind, so far you are playing the game. You're not playing for the money again. You are playing for the passion that you have. That's the reason why you have the likes of Fabregas.
Not minding Serie B.
Wherever it is. But to me, I think home calling would have been the best
Go back to Spain, right?
Go back to Spain and look for a club in there. Maybe the agent needs to do more. So from there, he can really retire. A very good one. So it's not really about the money. It's not that he has something to prove. I wish the Saudi Arabian club, they're offering
him that 110 million pounds.
Even, let's say quarter of the 210 million pounds.
It will jump at it. If you can agree to go to Como, a Serie B team, I'm sure Fabregas will jump at that offer to move to Saudi Arabian League if he's given the chance. I'm talking about the Nigerian Calvin Bassett that we mentioned earlier. He could be joining Ajax. That deal is edging so close, and I would love him to go to Ajax, really.
Also, I would love him to go to Ajax because sincerely, I agree with Kafu when he said that the English Premier League, because of the hype, is killing their Brazilian football. Because what we do, most of us, we watch Premier League a lot more than any other league, and you see this player week in, week out. You know their names. Based on that mentality, you think that they are good. That is why when England is going to the World Cup, everybody will look at, oh, England can win the World Cup, because you know all the players. But other players that are very good and very skillful from the Brazilian league, from the La Liga, you don't know them, and they do very well. So based on that, I think him going to Ajax, where they even develop the young ones. Look at the player that Manchester United have been pursuing for like...
Lisandro Martinez?
No, not Martinez.
Okay,
De Jong.
De Jong came from Ajax.
From Ajax also, and he also played under Eric Ten Hag. So that shows that from there, they know how to develop. Finidi George, we saw him. Kanu Wanko, we saw him. So Ajax is a place where if you want to have a good future, you go in there, and a lot of agents, scouts, they look out for players from that place. So I think it's a good one for him.
It will be a good one if Calvin Bassett can move away from Rangers to move straight to Ajax Amsterdam to play for them at the year of 22. That's been a wonderful one there, and good one for Manchester United. They've agreed a deal with Lisandro Martinez of Ajax also to move straight down to Old Trafford, courtesy of Eric Ten Hag, and they have to do that. It's been a wonderful time talking sport on 360 Sport on Trust TV. Well, Olawale Peter has been doing the business. Good one. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure being here, Adeni. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.